Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the semi-finals of the Perth Sevens. This one, New Zealand versus France. Now, these two sides have had pretty decent group stages. New Zealand undefeated, just the one loss for the French in their contest up against the Australians. But whoever wins this game will then face the winner of Australia versus the USA. But I am looking forward to this contest. New Zealand are on quite the run at the moment, but one side that can certainly end it would be the Australians. The France-Tasman final. It's happened so many times over the last few legs of the Sevens. Could happen again for Perth here as well. Looking through at the starting lineup for the Kiwis, it is Georgia Miller, Stacey Waka, Kelsey Tanetti, Risi Poldy-Lane, Mahina Paul, Sorensen McGee, and also Jasmine Felix-Hotham, the last woman. And the starting side for this Kiwi team, they have had a great run in the group stage, like I mentioned. 34 points to 12 win over the Japanese. Their second contest was up against Fiji, winning at 36-5. And then the last game up against the USA. That was the contest that I thought was going to be a close one, or at least slightly closer than what it was. 31-0 for New Zealand. Black Ferns Sevens making a huge statement up against the USA side. But for this French team, they have got Dezo, Lunau is in there, Arby. They've got I can't say her name anymore. Hagel. Oh, voice is going too. Conye, Christians, and also Dupuy, the last lady in the starting side. For the French, they started off with a win over the Canadians, 24 points to 12. From there, we saw them lose to Australia 26-12, but the chance of that being a rematch maybe in the final or the third place final could be on the cards here. And then 42-10, great win over Great Britain. We have got there Italy upsetting Scotland. Kiwi Lads, did you predict it? I predicted it would be close, and I did all the way through say Italy at home are tricky. But then I did think that Scotland would do slightly better than they did. I thought it might have been a higher scoring game. Maybe Italy still win it, but I was thinking we were going to get mid-20s, somewhere around there, but they couldn't quite get going. I think the weather did heavily affect the way that one was played. Kia ora, bro, watching from Christchurch. Says Dame Set Matt. So hopefully you did enjoy the flight over, and hopefully you got plenty of plans while you are in Christchurch. For how long are you here for? Dame Set Match, do let me know. And hello, Hamish. What a weekend of rugby so far. We've had the Six Nations starting up and some interesting sevens, says Josiah. Yeah, there's plenty more to come too. Of course, the semi-finals will lead into the finals a bit later on tonight, and they will also be must-see games. We've got there, our girls are wearing the black. Says Jasmine, yep, New Zealand in the black kit, France are in the white for this contest. How did England do? They managed to get a comfortable win over Wales, 48-7, I think it was in the end. A bit of a rough score for the Welsh. There were 6 yellow cards in that contest. So a bit of an insane one. We have got the Ohio and Hamish. Says, Robert, welcome in. Did you get any sleep? I managed a few hours. I always knew that I wasn't going to be able to get a massive amount of sleep after an all-nighter, but I probably managed like 5 hours or somewhere around there, which isn't too bad. Could have been much worse, but these two sides have made their way out onto the field now. The first of 2 semi-finals for the women's side of the draw. Australia will be taking on the USA. That is the next match that has taken place. Of course, the winner of this game will face the winner of that contest in the final later on. Dezo, the captain of this French team. And the thing is, that last game that they had up against Great Britain, they did look really dangerous. This French side, they just have to find that momentum early up against New Zealand. As if anything like that game up against the Aussies, they just concede too quickly, they could find themselves in a little bit of trouble. Morning Google Spring, my niece is there. My name is Your Best Sleeping. And how did the Six Nations go last night? Did England and Scotland, I assume that's win. England won, Scotland did not. Italy ended up getting themselves the big win in front of the home crowd, but this one just about to kick off now for semi-final number 1 in Perth. It looks like just as nice of a day as it was yesterday. It'll be relatively hot around lunchtime in Perth at this point in time. The ball is going to be in the hands of the French early on, looking to the short side. And once again, France need to start fast here up against the Black Ferns Sevens. We actually saw Japan push New Zealand early on in their opening contest. Now, nice run forward from the French. They are just inside of that 40-metre line. Tanetti makes the tackle there. And back across to the left again for the French. Moving it on nicely. Missed tackle there from Risi Poldy-Lane. It's going to become a foot race. Georgia Miller trying to chase her down and will just about be able to. Thought about the offload. Gets it up now to Conye. And this will be the try. And just like that, France are taking the lead, ladies and gentlemen. And they have managed to get that conversion over as well. I will mention I skipped forward about 30 seconds as I realised I was slightly behind. But now moving forward, that's a great counter-attack from New Zealand. They'll be straight back into the action to be able to score it themselves. And just like that, we've had 2 tries in 2 minutes for this contest. We'll update that. Also, hopefully, if it's going to let me, it's decided that the scoreboard's going to disappear. 1 second, we'll go like that. We'll go like that. And we'll go like, what one is it? It'll be about what one's to refresh the page? I've forgotten. 1 second. We'll sort it out. We'll go refresh. And we'll go back to full screen. We'll grab that one. We'll put that there. We'll change that to 2 minutes in. And we will change the score to 7-all between these two sides, as it has been a frantic start to the semi-final and a terrible start to the scoreboard. There we go. We've finally sorted out. Sky's buffering. Says Jasmine, the incoming New Zealand woman, says Josiah. And also staying 2 weeks. Road trip to Queenstown tomorrow. Transit and Fineries Lounge was great. Now going short side again here for the French. Well, in fact, New Zealand missed that kick, so it is 7-5 at this point in time. We will update that one as well. There we go. Got it sorted. And coming New Zealand woman, says Stefan there. Now France looking to move this one away to the short side. Just the 1 try score at this stage for them. And Conye, but it did not take long for them to cross the try line. And once again, Conye has got her hands on the ball. Tackled by Georgia Miller. It's 7-all. It is 7-5 at the moment. So quick fire first 3.5 minutes in this match. France are looking decent though in this game. Firing it off to the right-hand side now. And the captain to zone now, short side. Chance to run this one down the wing. I think it's going to be Christians who does score it. And France are going to take the lead. And Josiah, quick start. Or an extended lead, I should say, in this contest. It's going to be an interesting game, this one. New Zealand have been caught napping a little bit in the early stages of the day. And the thing is, you can't afford to have a slow start here up against the French. If they score one more try, they could be in a very dominant position for this matchup. My sky keeps getting fuzzy. Says Jasmine. And good morning, brother. I just woke up. Says Mohadeen. So yeah, early morning start for you guys in South Africa. But it's a good run forward from France to get it down the wing. And Alicia Christians does get that one. And also the additional 2 is added on. When will the new All Blacks coach be announced? I actually have no idea, to be honest. I know that they're talking about the short list of the guys who are available for the job, but I always thought it would be before Super Rugby. But then Super Rugby starting in about probably 5 or 6 days. So if they're going to do it midweek, it would be an interesting time to do it, but they might have to if they're trying to get it out of the way quickly. Now 2 minutes remaining in this half. New Zealand are going to have themselves the line out with Braxton, Sorensen, McGee. The New Zealand team's got this. So there's a Kia there. Now cross to the left. Tarita. Jasmine Felix Hotham pops it back on the inside to Tarita once more. Bumping off the French defence. Looking for the pass on the outside. It's going to be knocked on by France. Just not quite taking that one cleanly. And I think Arby's going to go to the bin here. Here she is, 2 minutes in the bin now for France. That is the momentum killer that they definitely wouldn't have wanted here. Trying to go for that catch there, Arby. And I'd say she's a bit unlucky with that ruling. Purely because of the fact that, she actually had a very good chance of being able to catch that ball. Had a second crack at it. But it is ruled of the deliberate knockdown. Most of them are. I'm not making sure my pipes don't freeze up. And New Zealand woman got it, says Stefan. They would need a try, I think, before halftime to just feel that little bit more confident going into the second 7 minutes. They've got a great attacking chance to do so, though. A woman advantage going straight into the referee. Now off to the left-hand side, cutting back inwards, Mahina, Paul, Braxton, Sorensen, McGee. Has managed to jump on it. Now right-hand side again now for the Kiwis. Jasmine Felix Hotham cutting inwards. Once the offload to Risi Pauri Lane, she's already scored herself 1 try. And that's why the heck did they pick an Aussie ref for the game? Where else would you have wanted the ref to be from? Nice run from Georgia Miller. Goes into a foot race and just manages to outrun her opposition. Score the second try of the contest for the Black Ferns Sevens. Scores another one between the posts too. Georgia Miller never looks like she's in a full sprint, just likes to jog, almost tease the opposition, make them think that they can get a tackle on her just to then outrun them in the end anyway. But she did have the pace to get round Lunel, any country apart from Aussie, says Kiwi Rob. Well, if it makes you feel better, they won't have an Australian referee in the final if the Aussies make it through. Aussie referee hate New Zealand, says, what's up, guys? And New Zealand are just too good at rugby, says, don't like anyone, to be honest. That's an interesting name. But now 5 seconds remaining in the first half of this semi-final, leading 14 points to 12. Currently still the French. Going to be kicked off by New Zealand once more. Taken by France. They may look to just kick this ball into touch. I don't think they need to take any risks here. Oh, it's charged down though by Stacey Waka. If they were going to go for the kick, you got to do it with a bit of urgency. And New Zealand will score the try with Mahina Paul. Was she in front of Stacey Waka would be the only thing that needs checked there. But outside of that, it's a brilliant try for the Kiwis. But she took about 5 business days to go for the kick into touch there for the French. I know that one was fine. Does go straight into the hands of Mahina Paul. That name means you're a mean person. Says, what's up, guys? And also come on New Zealand 100 to France's nil. Well, they won't get the nil as France have already scored 2 tries, but the end of the first half. And the score is now 19-14 in favour of New Zealand. We have this shut up, Hamish. You can't be offside in a charge down. I mean, we've seen offsides given before in charge downs, but half-time in this contest, 14 points to 19 in favour of New Zealand. Currently got an ad for a tortoise here. Winner of this game will be going on to face Australia, who are anything but a tortoise in the game of sevens. They have been dominant for a long time when they go through their group stages, and then the finals are normally 50-50. New Zealand lost the final last year in Perth up against the Australians, 28 points to 26. Well, Kiwi Rob, that's a little harsh. That's just Kiwi Rob summed up, though, isn't it? And we have got there a good effort from both teams, says John. Why is everyone rude to Hamish? It's just easy, because I don't really fire back too much. But second half, just about to take place. The reserves for the Kiwis, they've got Caitlin Vahakolo to make her way off the bench. Maya Davis, who to get herself a couple starts in the earlier stages of the comp. And then for the French, we do see it there. They have got, I would say, maybe not as much experience off of their bench, but still a couple X-Factor younger players that can kind of make the difference. And we have got there, let's go the Ferns, says Scott. And also we have got there, don't argumenting, says Mark there. Yeah, second half of this contest is just around the corner, 19 points to 14. The way that it does sit currently, if New Zealand make it to the final, Patriots will win the Super Bowl, says Sock. I don't actually know when the Super Bowl is happening. Is it tomorrow or is it today? I'm going to have to probably have a look because I have no idea. I can't believe how quickly it comes around. They do it once a year, right? Because it feels like it was only about 4 months since the last one. 19 hours away from the Super Bowl. And now we're back underway in this contest. Ball is in the hands of the French. They are still playing with or at least they were playing with a disadvantage, but I believe they are actually back to the 7 now. There's a knock-on from New Zealand, so they will go back for the French scrum. And Hamish says Big Roll TV. And tomorrow says Stefan. And there too, New Zealand are on a 7-game winning streak up against the French. Though this is as close as France have been in quite some time to being able to beat New Zealand. France have not made a cup final since Madrid 2024. I do remember me from the Chiefs game. Says Big Roll TV. Have you changed your profile picture though? I don't recognise the profile picture. I think I recognise the name though. And come on, New Zealand 120, France nil. Well, France still once again have 14. They can't get the nil in this game, but 120-14. If you had said that, it would have been a closer chance. But not really, because there's only the 6 minutes left. Now pass it on the outside. France with the ball in hand. Looking to get firing straight back into this match. Looking for the risky offload. Having to retreat to be able to grab that one. Getting jumped on by Jasmine Felix-Hotham. Bit of a counter ruck from New Zealand, but they give away another penalty. I don't think that's possible. Says, what's up, guys? Yes, yesterday. Says Big Roll. Off to the left again here for France. 5.5 minutes remaining. Thought about the pop pass on the inside. Instead will go on the outside. Georgia Miller makes the tackle once more. Now there's a green tree waterfall in the boat. See, here's big roll. Now, France does try a little bit of a skip pass, but it does bounce along the ground and picked up by Kelsey Tanetti. Now left-hand side for Braxton Sorensen McGee. Offloads there to Mahina Ball. It's a bit of a handling error, but it goes backwards. Jasmine Felix Otham. Big lobby pass over the top to Risi Poldy Lane. Miller on the overlap. Pops back on the inside to Stacey Waka. Seems like we're only about 5 or 10 seconds away from someone having a foot race on a line break. Could it be Georgia Miller? She tries to get round one and does so. She kind of just bumps them off in a very easy fashion. Nice pass on the outside. Stacey Waka calling for Miller to be in support. Here comes that foot race. Stacey Waka passes off to Georgia Miller towards the corner. She gets rid of one. She just makes it look easy and gets another one. And why not go closer to the post? Miller says Kiwi Rob, because she was tired. She's taken some deep breaths. She managed to stall a little bit of time as well. But it all depends on whether this kick goes over. But New Zealand currently lead by 10 points. Obviously, they're feeling confident heading to the later stages of the match. She is stupid, says Kiwi Rob. I mean, to be fair, she's the one out there on the field and you're the one watching her. So she must not be that stupid. What's your next game? Says Robert. Next game that we are going to be covering, semi-final, taking place between New Zealand and Fiji. Kick narrowly misses to the left-hand side. New Zealand leading by the 10 points. And Kiwi Rob is one of the most angriest people on this channel. And that's a hard award to get, to be fair. And also Harsh says, what's up, guys? But yeah, that next game is New Zealand versus Fiji. That is starting in 23 minutes' time, or at least the live stream for it is. And then alongside that, we've got the South Africa-Australia one coming up a bit later on. Now kicked off. New Zealand looking to grab that one. It looks like the call was backwards. And New Zealand short side. Mahina Paul offloads now. Vahakolo. Couple big fins there. Looks for the pass on the outside. France almost getting the turnover, although it's going to be a knock-on advantage against them. Now charging forward. Offload beautifully done to Caitlin Vahakolo. But there's a call from the ref. Going to go back. There's a high tackle against France as well. I think one of the French players was expecting to get sent to the bin there, but she has been sent back to her defensive line. My wife is watching too. Can you say enjoy your first New Zealand pie tomorrow, Madoka? Says Dane set match. So hopefully you do enjoy your pie. What type is she going to have for her first pie? I feel like a classic like steak and cheese or something would go a long way for a first pie. Unless, of course, she doesn't eat steak. Then that would, of course, mean I don't have that one. Georgia just bought a house on the Mount. Not so stupid as she says, Timeless. No, she's doing very well for herself, Georgia Miller. And the way that she gets around defenders, once again, it just makes it look very easy. Now, pass on the outside. Mahina Paul, drop ball from Caitlin Vahakolo, just a little bit too far out in front of her. And Australia versus New Zealand again. This is getting ridiculous. I'm not happy with it, says Brandon. And shortly, steak and cheese says big roll. And we have got their potato top. Potato top could be a bit of a shout. Do you think bookmakers will have it right? Fiji as a 6-point favourite? I think it's probably not a mile off. I can't remember what my prediction was. In fact, I went a bit more harsh. I ended up going with Fiji 26-12 over the Kiwis, which hopefully won't be the case. Hopefully it's a lot closer than that. And it could be. That's a big push there and a knock on there from the French. Poldy Lane jumping on the ball. Now going off to the left-hand side. Georgia Miller passes across once more. Cutting through the gap. Black Ferns Sevens looking to fire it out wide. Felix Otham, another try here. Coming for the Kiwis. It's Caitlin Vahakolo that time. And they will now take the lead by 15 points here in New Zealand. Seems like this semi-final is all but done and dusted, and it's a trend that we've seen many times throughout these women's sevens matches, how whoever the favourite is starts a little bit slow, and then from there they just run away with it. One moment, I'm about to sneeze. Like they said, just an easy run-in for Caitlin Vahakolo there. And the Wales will probably improve next week against France, says John. And I got a Fiji t-shirt on ready to go, says Brandon. And go to the Kiwi ladies, says Stefan. But 29-14 now with just the extra 70 seconds to go. Are you streaming New Zealand, Afghanistan? I won't be, only because of all these sevens that overlap with it, but I'll be keeping an eye on it. I'm hoping to watch a couple hours of it in between streams. But from when it starts to when it finishes is during the Sevens playoff games. Now getting in the breakdown, wanting the steal in New Zealand, managing to get it yet again. The time it was Watherston off the bench. Now Riti Pauri Lane passes off to the left-hand side. New Zealand now starting to really run away with this game. Cutting back, looking for the offload. Manages to find it. Caitlin Vahakolo gets herself another one. I think she's going to get a lamb. Going to stop at the famous bakery in Feely. Well, yeah, the Feely pies do have a very good reputation. That's a good pass on the outside there from New Zealand. And the Sailor, the dummy, just to sneak through the gap for Kolossi. And then goes to Vahakolo. She knew would have the power to be able to finish it off. I think we need... oh, no, I read that one, didn't I? And when it's Australia's semi-final with the women, they are playing next. So they are going to be in action in about probably 3 or 4 minutes' time. And that will determine who plays New Zealand in the final. But 34-14. Like I said, it's changed the complexion of this final. That charge down from Stacey Waka at the end of the first half. Completely changing the way that this game was going. But France, it looks like they're going to go for one last attack here. They need to set a premiere for that. Says, what's up, guys? We're not doing that game on the channel. I am hoping by not doing it that it might make it closer. And we might get a decent game on the cards. But also we've got a little bit of a longer build-up for Fiji versus New Zealand. As there's a bit more to talk about for that. So for that reason, I'm going to be doing that from 5:50. So that is only 18 minutes away. Get a lamb flap, hokey fillet, or hokey fish fillet, and taro. See a sock there. Who's New Zealand, who's Australia playing? They are playing up against USA. And then on the men's side of things, they are playing South Africa. And what Super Rugby team? I don't really have one per se. I like the Hurricanes kit the best out of anyone, but other than that, I'm pretty neutral in terms of that. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. New Zealand booking themselves a spot to the final, which we will be covering on the channel as well. That final will be taking place at, it is 9:28 p.m. New Zealand time. And 29 New Zealand, as it says, chill. Yeah, that second half was just all New Zealand in that contest. And now they've booked themselves a spot through to the final in Perth, just like they were last year. They did face Australia in a 2-point thriller. Wonder whether or not we'll get that again for this one. Have a good rest of your day, says Josiah. But yeah, we are back in 17 minutes time for another 7 stream. We're back in 4 hours for the women's final too. And plenty of other matches along the way as well. But thank you all very much for watching. I will see you all for the next one.